Okay, I figured I'd make a training video on how to use a cheater cord on Sylvania. I told you I'd do it for the year and another one for Federal Pioneer eventually. But I have a little time to show you how to do this. This is a typical Sylvania breaker. Difference between Sylvanias and the other breakers, besides the obvious physical setup, is the control wiring for automated controls are different between the three stations that we have the Sylvania breakers in: West End, Georgia State, and Lindbergh. But on as far as the breaker operation goes and testing, the wiring is going to be maybe labeled differently. As far as you have A through F, and then 13 through 18, and whatnot. But on the prints, when you look at the setup for the prints, each print will have the one side of the breaker and the other side of the breaker for control power stab. So you have the left side and you have the right side as far as control power stabs go. So you got the left side and the right side. That's just how the prints are orientated also. But having said that, all the control power for the breaker operations are going to be the same as far as the location goes. The bottom's always going to be the letters A through F, and your charging circuit's going to be C and D. It's going to go through the motor. This is actually an anti-pump or a cutout switch for the motor, and I'll have a resistor going through the closing coil, and this resistor keeps the closing coil from burning up because it's all actually part of the same branch circuit. But you'll notice there's this resistor here, which is right here. This is the resistor in the print. So anyways, you'll have C and D for your charging, B and D for your closing coil. And then always at the top left side of the breaker, you're going to have your trip coil. That's all you need to do to electrically operate this breaker. As long as the coils are working and the associated control power aux contacts are in the proper position, because you notice you have a B contact here. And on Sylvania breakers, these are your aux contacts, your AB contacts that correspond with the print. But for this video, I'm just going to show you the operation of how to test it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and charge it up. Make sure you have the proper point C and D. And you notice the breaker is going to show it's discharged. And I've already tested this one. And of course, like I said, you want to make sure your control box is in the off position when you're operating your leads. And I've actually labeled everything on here. So you have your trip circuit, charging, SCM, and your close. So you just take your leads for charge. You have A, B, C, D, and the charge, like I said, is C and D. Alright, so make sure they're all on the appropriate stabs. We're going ahead and turn the box on. Charging motor is on. And now you got charged. Turn your box off. Now we're going to go ahead and close the breaker. So, like on the prints, your closing circuit shares the same thing, same return as your charging circuit. So charging is B, C, and D. All you got to do is move me one lead from C to B, and B goes, so use me one lead to close your breaker. So we're going to go from C to B, and of course make sure your control stabs are isolated, they're not shorting out to each other between the leads, otherwise they'll short out. And of course on the Sylvania breakers it's usually green or red, and if it doesn't say green or red, it'll probably say closed or open on there with Sharpie or something, because they're pretty old breakers. So we're gonna go ahead and hit it. You'll see the contacts closed. Box is back off. Now we're gonna go ahead and trip the breaker, shunt trip, and it's just gonna be the top two ports on the control power stab. This part, just don't worry about what the numbering of the control power stabs is. Just know that this top two is where you're going to be hitting it. So we're going to go ahead and trip the breaker. So we're going to go, like I said, the top two is, if everything's wired right, will be your trip circuit. Oh, and by the way, it's your charging motor, your trip coil, I'm sorry, your closing coil, and your trip coil is in the back, right in here. So we'll go ahead and trip it. And there you go. That's the whole process of checking out a Sylvania breaker electrically. There's other stuff you can go more in depth as far as troubleshooting it. We won't get into that one yet.